Right now at noon, a man is facing multiple charges in a deadly double shooting. What we're learning from police as they announce his arrest.
And we're drying out after a round of some showers, thunderstorms, even some severe weather yesterday evening. Lingering clouds, but going to head into a dry stretch.
Plus, Metro Police are working to help families experiencing loss. The steps they're taking to help you understand the process behind homicide investigations. Thanks for joining us at 13 News at noon. I'm Felicia Lawrence, and this afternoon, a 24-year-old man is facing multiple murder charges for a 2023 shooting. That happened around 12:10 the morning of May 6, 2023. Police say 27-year-old Darian Wiley was walking 24-year-old Olivia Brown to her car along East 21st and Ruckle Streets. That's when they were gunned down. Now police are announcing the arrest and charging Noah Brimage. Detectives say they linked the handgun used in the shooting to Brimage and multiple other incidents. They also say Brimage was texting people about being out and robbing people leading up to the shooting. Brimage is at the Indiana Department of Correction after convictions including arson and criminal recklessness. Happening right now, a jury is hearing witness testimony in the trial for a man accused of murder at an Indianapolis bar last July. So we have video from the courtroom. Prosecutors say Caden Douglas was drunk and acting aggressively at the Mucky Duck pub. They say Jeremy Dillingham tried to intervene and Douglas used racial slurs before shooting and killing Dillingham. Attorneys for Douglas do not dispute that he killed Dillingham, but say it was self-defense. Our Ashton Hackman is in the courtroom right now, and we'll have more from today's hearing starting at 4. And turning to Texas, where the man charged in the death of a professional boxer from Indiana is in court. Charles Medina is charged with manslaughter and aggravated assault in Hannah Rapp's death. He's in the courtroom for a bond hearing. Medina is accused of driving his car in reverse toward Rapp and her boyfriend. Court documents say he was going so fast that Rapp's body shattered the rear windshield. Rapp grew up in Yorktown and went to Purdue. She moved to Texas in 2024. Turning now to our forecast, meteorologist Lindsay Monroe joins us. It's a cloudy one and a muggy one after the storms we saw last night.
Yeah, it's going to take a little time for that drier air mass to eventually trickle in and take over. We've had the lingering clouds, still feels a little muggy, but I'll tell you by this time tomorrow, sunshine's back. The humidity is going to be very low, so it's going to be feeling pretty good. It's just going to take a little time to get there. So we've been monitoring that cloud coverage on the backside of that frontal boundary, and essentially what's going on is it's just stalled 2 hours south. You can see some of that scattered rain that's still continuing to develop across northern portions of Kentucky over towards Cincinnati. Eventually that's going to push off to the south, and our wind direction will change, and we will eventually see that drier air returning. Because in the meantime, it's still pretty muggy. 69, your current dew point temperature here in Indy. Lafayette has now dropped to 69. We are still in the mid to upper 70s when it comes to our dew point in southern Indiana, and that's pretty extensive. Anything we consider very humid and almost miserable, tropical, that zone, anything is 70 or above. So we have certainly noticed that has lingered to areas south. So it's going to clear out from north to south eventually. Current air temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s to areas north. We're at 77 over in McCordsville right now, 75 in Carmel, and 78 out at the Indianapolis International Airport for our official temperature here at noon, into the lower 80s for areas south. So over the next few hours, we will gradually see the sky clearing. By the time we get into the evening tonight, temperatures will top out at 85 for a high today. Sun goes down just after 9 o'clock. Here are your forecast highs across the board. Low 80s north will go mid 80s for our friends in southern Indiana. That will be the clearing trend for today. As I mentioned, going to take a little time for that drier air to officially arrive. So skies will continue to clear during the overnight. We'll be talking about a stretch of some dry weather before rain chances increase for Friday into this upcoming weekend. I've got the latest timeline in the full forecast.
Thanks, Lindsay. New at noon, a 49-year-old man is accused of murdering and disposing of his 89-year-old landlord in Columbus, Indiana. Officers say they were called to do a welfare check on Jerry McCullough around 8:30 last Tuesday night. When they got to the scene, officers say they spoke to Rudy Minton, who told them he had just ingested bleach. He also told police that McCullough was in a trash can. Officers say he sustained trauma to his head and face. A cause of death has not yet been determined. Minton allegedly told police, "I just thought I could pull it off. I'm sorry." Minton is now charged with murder. And right now, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office is searching for a 9-year-old boy. Azazi Ju Torres Abrego was last seen this morning, Azael. He was last seen this morning near Franklin Mobile Home Park, and that's at 835 South Old US 31. They say the boy is about 4 feet 7 inches tall, about 80 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. Deputies say the boy was last seen wearing a red, blue tie-dye shirt, a black and red Batman jacket, shorts, and tennis shoes. So if you do see him, take a look at your screens. If you see him, call 911. And right now, neighbors are questioning whether the city's short-term rental registry is actually doing its job. So there was a shooting over the weekend that injured a 15-year-old girl, and those neighbors say this is not the first time police have been called to that property. The city of Indianapolis admits there are more short-term rentals than the roughly 1,100 currently listed in its registry. Property owners are required to register their short-term rentals, receive a permit, and renew it every year. When we checked the address where this weekend shooting happened, it was not listed. We're told the property had been registered, but the permit expired in February. If the city discovers a rental operating without a valid permit, owners are giving a 30-day warning to get into compliance. Only after that can IMPD issue a Class C infraction. IMPD responded to the same home in December for another shots fired call. No one was hurt in that incident. New insight on how homicide investigations are handled here in Indianapolis, and as IMPD opens the case file on how detectives investigate killings. One family says they've been met with silence over their mother's case. Alex Almanza explains.
Behind these walls at police headquarters sit thousands, if not millions of pages documenting homicide investigations. On Monday, IMPD offered a glimpse at how detectives work those cases from the crime scene to the courtroom. Support for families affected by homicide comes in many forms. On Monday, it came in eight organizations, including IMPD's Victim Assistance Unit, led by Lisa Brown.
Some insight on what to expect with the investigation, and to give them an opportunity to ask questions.
Brown says this forum held at Firefly Children and Family Alliance helps them answer those questions. She says sometimes people don't know where to start.
This is just to give them some clarity on what to expect, and give them some names of some people that can maybe answer some questions for them.
Over the past 5 years, IMPD says they've investigated more than 900 homicides, with 43 detectives and supervisors on staff right now.
She was a single mom all her life. She was a hard worker.
But even with that level of staffing, Destiny Rosales says she's still waiting for a response back.
At the beginning, IMPD was, at least the detective on the case, was pretty okay reaching out to us and us reaching out to him, and he tried to answer questions as best as he could. But I would say after the first 6 months to a year, the time of talking to them got more spaced out.
Rosales' mother, Dawn McCutcheon, was working as a night cleaner on the Northwest Side when she was killed in 2021. Her killer wasn't found. Rosales says her family tried reaching out to IMPD for an update in March 2025 and haven't heard back since.
Even just a simple update. Like, yeah, it's saddening to hear, like, hey, we still don't have anything new yet, or anything new that we can tell you, because, it is an investigation. We are not privy to all of the information, because it will eventually probably, go to trial one day, and so on and so forth.
Rosales says she never got an invite to Monday's forum, but says she hopes other families speak up and keep prying for any updates on their case. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
All right, thanks, Alex. And family, friends, as well as neighbors are remembering the individuals killed in a mass shooting in Seattle. We take you to that vigil where advocates are demanding action.
And a storm we set up yesterday evening, we're now on the backside of that, but it's going to take a little time for the driest of that air to return. We are talking some improvements, though, for Wednesday into Thursday, ahead of some increasing rain chances for the weekend.
Also, summer's in full swing, and a family favorite is on the way back to Indy. We're talking about the State Fair, what you need to know about discounts and changes to the festivities.